it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today's project is this one. It is using the Artistically Asian stamp set. This has been around for a wee while and I love it. I love that it's silhouette images. At the moment I'm really into silhouette images. So this version is using Mossy Meadow as the ink and as the card base, and then Fresh Fig as the mat, which is a very, very small mat, and also Fresh Fig ribbon. And this is the Fresh Fig sheer ribbon. And then I've used some of the basic sequins just to dot about. So I'm going to make this significantly, I think, significantly different this time. Oh, and I did stamp on the envelope as well and on the inside of my card. I'm going to do the next one in Poppy Parade. So, as I say, quite significantly different. Right, okay, so what have we got? We have a card base, we've got a first mat, a second mat, an envelope, a frame, and I thought I had, no, I haven't cut it yet, so let me cut, because I thought I had cut some Poppy Parade ribbon, but I will do that now. So I'm using the Poppy Parade mini stripe ribbon, which, as you can see, is a beautiful match. So what are we doing and how are we doing it? I wish I knew. So this is my usual size small mat, which is 5.5 by 3 3/4. I have cut from a quarter sheet of A4 cardstock a frame, and all I've done is, having cut it out, I've cut 2 centimetre frame. So I've got this piece as a spare. So all I'm going to do is pop that into the middle of my frame, and with a couple of pieces of washi tape, hold that in place so that it doesn't move about. I'm holding it in place from the back so that if the washi tape does decide it's going to pull any of the card up, it's pulling it from the back, not the front. And also I want all of this space available to do my inking. So say Poppy Parade, if I can open it, it would be useful. And I have just a sponge dauber and my poor bitten finger, which is a lot better. So all I'm going to do is, starting off the card, as in off the card, the mat, I'm going to just add ink. Now you could do this with a brayer, but I find this just as easy, and I'm going to not do it the same intensity all the way across. I actually want there to be a kind of fade across, which is why I think it's probably easier to do it with a dauber, or you could use one of these stamping sponges, which I tend to cut those into quarters, because then you don't actually need a whole sponge. And then and this is where coming off and on is good, because when you're loading up your dauber, you don't want a whole circle of dauber right in the middle of your card. Now I'm not too worried that it's a bit splodgy, because we are going to stamp on top. In fact, we're going to stamp and emboss on top. So that's that. I will need that again, but for the moment. So let's just peel this off. And it has pulled a little bit of the card up, not too much, but a little bit of the card up, but it's the back, so it really doesn't matter. Now obviously if you were doing more of the same colour, you could reuse this frame. I wouldn't suggest using the frame for a lighter colour. So I didn't use the Mossy Meadow one, for example, with the lighter one. Did any of that make sense? Anyway, anywho, right, I'm going to use the Stamparatus. I seem to be going through a bit of a phase, and this is mostly because I want to get a sort of really nice intense stamp. Because the Awesomely Artistic is red rubber, I don't need this matte. And you'll notice that I take my magnets off and I put them straight back here. And I've cut a piece of grid paper so that I've got a surface here that I don't really care about much. And I'm going to just pop that on, and I'm going to line up with this straight edge here just in case things move. And just there. And then grab my stamp, and I'm going to use the same one, which is this lovely bamboo, and just pop it. So I want it to actually come off the frame. Is that sort of straight? Yes. So if I bring that across, now if I put the Mossy Meadow underneath, that will keep that flat. And then I can ink this up. And stamp. And I'm going to ink it up again because I want this to be a really intense. And if you layer up your ink, it'll get a slightly darker shade. Like that. And now I'm going to just move everything across a bit. And should actually have started a little bit further up, I think, but never mind, it's fine. It's fine. So I think we'll come, yep, that will be perfect. So I'm not going to re-ink my stamp, I'm just going to stamp it again. Oh, and I've over-inked. Doesn't matter, that's going to be fine. It'll be fine. Honest Injun, it will be fine. Right, I don't need the red anymore just at the moment. So let's clean off this. I'm trying to work out how that's going to be fine. Oh, I know what I can do. No, it is going to be fine. So I do want to clean this off quite well because I'm now going to use Versamark on it. So, just make sure it's dry, nothing quite like a hand. Now, this I want to be up a bit. And because we're going to be heat embossing, and because we've used quite a lot of ink, I am being quite generous with my embossing buddy. And let's get in with the Versamark ink. Do that once. And then I'm going to come up a little bit and across a little bit and just ink that again. I'm going to hope that everything has not dried because we're at about 30 degrees at the moment, so things are quite exciting in the old stables at the moment. Oop. Do that, then that's at least inky side up. So white embossing powder. Now it is blowing quite a breeze, and I do have the window open, although it is blowing a breeze that is like opening an oven door. There is quite a breeze, so I'm hoping that it doesn't blow embossing powder everywhere, which it hasn't. Hurrah, hurrah. Okay, and just in case it's not hot enough in here already, I am going to get out my heat tool, because that's going to make things cooler. So now the key with your heat tool is to make sure it's warm before you use it, and by warm I mean hot. And then now using a board does help keep things flat because the heat kind of reflects back onto the card, but you do still get a little bit of warping. Okay, let's get rid of that. Right, so there we are. That's our basic card. Now, of course, I have got to do something about that, which, let's see, what can we do about that? Is that going to fit there? No, it's not. Okay, so let's have a think. Is that going to take it off? No. Okay, this is where one goes. If I had, you can get a sanding rubber, which will lift ink off, but otherwise you can very gently now the alternative is to stick something here, but I actually want those stalks to be down. Of course, the alternative is I change my design slightly. See, that I think is the alternative. Right, okay, we're doing that. Right. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so instead of having the stamping at the bottom, as in the sentiment at the bottom, we're going to have the sentiment at the top. Just there, I think. In fact, I might use the Stamparatus again. Let's take that stamp off, which does still need cleaning, and bring our Stamparatus back in. And actually I'll go that way up, right into the corner. So I can pop one magnet there, and one magnet just there, and then line my, yes, that is a straight edge. So if I line that up there and bring my plate in, whoops, oh, come along, right, so Poppy Parade ink again. I'll just do it again so that I know I've got a good impression. Perfect. Oops. Right, okay, so again let's take that out and then I can clean my stamp later. And this is how strong the magnets are. Getting your piece out from underneath is not easy. Right, okay, so Poppy Parade base. And yep, right, a scribble of liquid adhesive. Preferably without pushing your top all the way over your card. Press that down. Okay, right. Sticky dots, well, dimensionals, and then that's going to go there. And I'm going to stick it actually, actually, I'm going to cut a couple of strips from the side, because what I'm going to do is it's always the way, isn't it? I actually wanted it. Oh, it helps, of course, if you actually stick your ribbon where you want it. It's sad, it's the heat. We're just not used to it in the UK. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, and then dimensionals on the back. Now where's my, this is my pokey tool that I managed to drop on the floor. It's still very good for pulling up the backs of dimensionals. In fact, the fact that it's got a little hook on it now almost makes it better. Right, card base. Oh, I know what I haven't done, but that's fine, we can do that in a moment. So, card base, crease, pop that down, lovely. Right, now I want some of the basic sequins, and I think we'll go for the white, or should we go for the iridescent? No, we'll go for the white. The iridescent are a bit too green. So, is this going to be... Yes, it is. Right, I seem to have a bit of... Oh, that's glue. That's fine. So we'll have one just there. One just down there. And one... just there. Right, the bit I forgot was I need to stamp the back of my envelope. So let's find a block and my stamp, which has got a bit of Versamark on, but it's fine. So where's my original? There we are. Right, just so I know where I'm stamping. So, Poppy Parade. And a piece of scrap because I want to stamp off. So I only need to ink up the top bit. There we go. So that is that one. That is the original. So as you can see, two very different looks from the same basic card. So one's very much more somber, and one is really bright and zingy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do remember that if you would like any of the products, you can hop over to my online store. There's a link to that below, or if you go over to my blog, you'll find a link for it there. And if you spend, for every £30 you spend in any one order, you will get a stamping, a sunflower reward, which means that when you get 10 of those, you can exchange it for £30 of product. And yeah, that's £30 of your choice. So always good to know. £30 would equate to, if you were to buy 3 designer series paper packs that are in the current offer, then that would get you to £30.75p. You would be able to get your 4th designer series paper for free, because we've got that offer on, and you'd get a sunflower reward. Of course, you could always join my team. That's another great thing to do at the moment, because we've got the standard offer, £130 of product for the £99 free delivery, but you can also add a whole colour family of ink pads. So that's an extra, depending on how you cost it up, £63 or £70. So £200 of product for just £99, including free delivery. Marvellous. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.